Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story is actually an update, and I think this is probably the second or third time that we've spoken about this. It's a very complex story for a lot of different reasons. So what ended up happening, there was a little girl that ended up being murdered. Her biological father was held accountable and arrested, and so was her stepmother, was arrested for the murder of that beautiful little girl that y'all see right there on my screen. So I'm going to warn you guys, in this story, I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. I'm going to give some thoughts and opinions about this story because I think that's why most people are here, is to hear my opinion about the story, because you can get the news from anywhere. But this beautiful girl lost her life, and I'm going to tell you guys something, what I believe happened. I believe that they just had too many children, and we continue to keep procreating recklessly in this world just because we got penises and vaginas that can't stay away from plugging each other, making babies with no plan how to take care of these kids, and everybody emotionally getting upset at each other. Emotions are high, baby mama, baby daddy, baby mama drama, and all of this stuff going on. You understand what I'm saying? There's too much spiritual, emotional, physical stuff that's happening, and it's causing these children to lose their lives because we don't bring these children into this world with a plan. We call that babies for benefits. It's the only reason it seems that a lot of these people are having kids, to collect benefits from the children. Catch that? Let's get started. This woman that you see on my screen is going to be the main subject here. And she is from Mississippi, and she was convicted recently of capital murder. I want you guys to catch that. Let's back it up. That woman convicted of capital murder and the beating death of her 14-month-old stepdaughter, that beautiful baby right there on the right-hand side of the screen. And I'm sorry, y'all. I know I was crazy for making them sounds. I'm sorry. But let's get back serious for a moment, okay? We'll talk about the biological mom. We'll get back there here in a moment. Now, the stepmother, her name is Takia Beverly, which is spelled kind of odd. It's T apostrophe K-I-A, Takia, last name Beverly, not Beverly, but B-E-V-I-L-Y, who's 28 years old. We're going to talk about the biological father here in a moment. But she was convicted on, the last Friday of October 2017 in the death of Jurayah Smith, that beautiful baby right there, who has a very contagious, infectious, beautiful little smile, an innocent little angel. And this happened in Claiborne County, Mississippi. Now, according to the news, jurors returned their verdict after hearing 5 days of testimony. Beverly is married to Jurayah's father, who is 30-year-old Morris Beverly IV, which is, let me see if I can go back. That's the biological father. That is 30-year-old Morris Beverly IV. The couple was taking care of Jurayah when she died on October the 22nd of 2017. So that's how long ago this story happened. And I guess that's how long we've been doing news stories on these babies. Her death was later ruled a homicide due to multiple blunt force traumas to her head. She was beat to death. According to the police, Jurayah was found dead by her mother by the name of Deidreana, I'm sorry. Got these unique names. That's the biological mother, Deidreana Smith, when she came to pick her baby up. I could not be prouder of my prosecution team, which brought Jurayah's murderer to justice, according to District Attorney Daniela Shorter, who told the news after the verdict. Now Jurayah's family can finally have some peace, knowing that Takia Beverly will be in the custody of the Mississippi Department of Corrections. With Beverly convicted, prosecutors are now turning their attention to the girl's father, Morris Beverly, whose trial was going to begin on that Monday. He is also charged with capital murder. He has pleaded not guilty, and he also faces trial. So I have to give you guys an update on that. Jurayah Smith, the biological mother, released a statement after the verdict, thanking prosecutors and saying that her family will now begin the healing process. Knowing that the person responsible for the homicide of my precious Jurayah is now being held accountable for their actions, bring a feeling of relief over my whole family. She continued by saying, receiving the guilty verdict is only the start of the healing process for my family, our friends, loved ones, and myself. We're grateful for the outcome and we're hopeful for the peaceful closure that this process has brought. Are you guys ready for the update? Why are we here today? Because some of you guys have already heard that portion. Well, even though she was convicted of capital murder, the woman that you see on the right-hand side of the screen right there, Takia Beverly, is out of prison. A lot of you guys might be wondering, how the hell does that happen? Out of prison on a capital murder charge? Really? That's the type of stuff that people get put to death for. Sit on death row for years for. How does that happen? Here's the story. And that's actually one of the thumbnails from a video that I did, so you guys can look those videos up on the channel at a later point. Let's talk about this. A woman who was convicted of capital murder, and this was as of October the 6th, so this was only 6 days ago. She was convicted of capital murder in connection to the death of her 14-month-old stepdaughter. She has been released from prison. Takia Beverly was released on a $1 million bond. She is now awaiting a new trial. You would have to ask, first of all, how did she get out of jail? Why did she get out of jail? And how did she get $1 million bond? And how did she get out on $1 million bond? Well, DJ Just J tends to take some screenshots. So let me show you guys this beautiful little thing that's called GoFundMe that these people had the wherewithal to use to collect funding for legal defense for Takia Beverly. Now, I don't know if they were able to collect $1 million, but all I know is that, and this is actually a little bit of an older screenshot, but they were actually able to collect enough money, apparently, to get her released on $1 million bond. That is just something that's not normal. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to collect the funds. If you get it, then you get it. But I'm just saying $1 million is $1 million damn dollars. Her family called this a small victory in a fight that is far from over. I believe that Jurayah and Takia both deserve justice, and I'm going to make sure that they receive it, according to Beverly's brother by the name of Christopher Smith, which you're going to see him in the interview. He continued, we're honestly ecstatic and thankful for the fact that Takia Beverly has been brought home after being wrongfully convicted and imprisoned for 8 months. Some of that is partially incorrect, but we'll get back to it. We're thoroughly dissatisfied with the black stain that the justice system now has regarding Takia Beverly, and we're ready to fight and prepare for her to never have to see the inside of a prison again. Sorry, I read that wrong. According to her mother, Beverly has suffered being separated from her children, because of course she had children outside of this little girl. And she had children that were actually close to Jurayah's age. Very close to Jurayah's age, which we'll get to that here in a minute. They're very happy to be back with her, and it took a toll on Takia as far as being away from her kids overall. She was a trooper, she stood strong, and she kept the faith, and she's home. But I want y'all to remember this. She's only out on bail because she's getting a new trial. Not that she didn't do it, it's just that she's getting a new trial. And we'll get to that here in a minute. Beverly was granted a new trial in September 2021 this year because one of the jurors failed to disclose that he is related to Jurayah Smith's mother. This whole thing fell apart because some idiot juror decided to lie, which could be perjury, which I think that they should actually face, 25 years in prison for lying about something like that, because you could have got this woman sent to jail for life, potentially the death penalty. I think you should get 25 years in prison for lying. It's that damn serious. I don't like stuff like that. I really don't like stuff like that. But they lied, and they didn't say that they were actually related to the mother's side, the biological mother's side. Beverly's brother believes that she will be exonerated after the new trial, which I hope not. Takia's indictment was based on lies as well as her conviction. So regardless of if she was found guilty with that jury, there was no evidence against her, which is a lie. That's actually a lie. They do have evidence against her. They're going to have to represent it all. Smith said that the lack of evidence caused Claiborne County District Attorney to create a negative narrative about Beverly, which led to her conviction. They tried to build this narrative, this false narrative against her as this quote-unquote evil stepmother, when that's the furthest thing from the truth, which I'm actually going to dispute that. If y'all want to hear my video about it, I'll let you hear it. Takia went above and beyond for Jurayah, and she even went above and beyond for anyone that has met her, as well as the biological mother. So there was no hate or jealousy in Takia's heart, and there still isn't any today. Her new trial has been scheduled for spring of 2022. The terms of her bond include Beverly being under house arrest, restrictions from leaving Warren County, and she cannot leave her home from the hours of 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. except for verified employment. Very, very complicated story. But let me give you guys the fair usage, and then I will show you my video. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys would, if you're watching this video, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. What it helps do is it helps share this story. If you're on Jakia's side, then or let me see, Takia, I'm sorry, I said her name wrong. If you're on Takia's side, then I want you guys to speak your opinion. If you're on the side of the biological mother and Jurayah and that side of the family and believe that both the biological dad and the stepmom should be held fully accountable, then I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section. We got a couple videos that I want to show you guys. But give your thoughts and opinions, and please click that thumbs up.
We thank God for that, and everybody for that. My mom, my dad, the entire family has worked tirelessly to make sure my sister is completely exonerated, and we're not stopping.
That has been the family's rallying cry and response since hearing the news of 28-year-old Takia Beverly getting a new trial following her conviction. Beverly was sentenced to life without parole following the death of her 14-month-old stepdaughter, Jurayah Smith, in October 2017. Following a request by Beverly's attorney, a new trial has been granted after finding traces of juror misconduct. According to court documents, members of the jury were related to the victim's family. The family says that their fight goes much further than just a trial, but also getting justice for both Beverly and Jurayah.
We want true justice for Jurayah, and we want justice for Takia. We want Takia to be completely exonerated from the accusations that's been against her, the wrongful accusations against her. We want Jurayah to be receiving the justice that she deserves.
Beverly's brother says the behind-the-scenes work was also a pivotal part of getting a new trial. The work being done through what he calls the Dream Team.
On I Stand With Kia and all of the public platforms, we've pushed and fought, and we've won day after day and night after night in the justice for Takia Beverly and Jurayah Smith.
As the family awaits for that new trial, they say they will continuously fight for their daughter to come home.
My biggest thing is her being reinstated on the $1 million bond and coming back home and being with her family that so deeply miss her.
Kara Peters, 16 WAPT News.
Here's the thing. I have somebody in the chat who's saying that Jurayah's family has stated that the juror is not related to her or Deidreana. Who knows, man? Here's what I think. I think whatever happened with that, I just think they need to be held accountable. Get them out of there. Get a new trial. But like I said, it shouldn't have came to this point and just do it all over again. They clearly had evidence to convict her anyway. But like I said, this just further slows down the process of getting justice.
Now to Claiborne County, where a judge issued a gag order in the case of a woman accused of killing her 14-month-old stepdaughter. A hearing was held today requesting a new trial for Takia Beverly, who was sentenced to life without parole after being convicted of capital murder in the October 2017 death of Jurayah Smith. The baby's father, Morris Beverly, was also charged with murder. His trial has been postponed. According to Beverly's attorney, Judge Tamika Harris is not at liberty to tell news outlets anything further at this time. Now to a story that we've been following since the beginning. A 14-month-old is found dead in Port Gibson. Now, almost 2 years later, the child's father and stepmother are being blamed. WJTV 12's Katie Rose spoke with the little girl's mother.
The father and stepmother of the 14-month-old little girl who was killed back in 2017 have now been charged in her death. I spoke with the little girl's mother, who's been searching for answers for nearly 2 years. October 22nd, 2017, the day is still fresh in Deidreana Smith's mind, the day she lost her little girl.
That's all I could do was fall to the floor and cry, because I'm like, my daughter is dead. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think.
Jurayah was just 14 months old when she was found dead in a crib at her father's house.
She was on her back, and her eyes were closed, and her mouth was closed. Her lips were kind of like a greenish color. You could tell she had been there for a long time, and she was cold.
Autopsy results showed Jurayah died from multiple blunt force trauma to the head. The little girl's father, Morris Beverly, and his wife, Takia, are both charged with capital murder.
That's step one, but it's a process. I feel like we got to go to court, we got to go this, we got to do that. There's a lot to happen between now and then.
Although it's been a long road to get here, Deidreana has one thing keeping her focused.
My daughter, she asks about her sister every day, and I tell her she's in heaven, but she still asks, Mama, where's Jurayah? Mom, I want Jurayah. So that's what's fueling me too. We miss her. We both miss her. Everybody misses her.
The Claiborne County Sheriff tells me a hearing will be held sometime between now and next week. For now, in Port Gibson, Katie Rowe, WJTV 12.
Murder after the death of her 14-month-old stepdaughter is now home on bail. Takia Beverly was released on a $1 million bond and is awaiting a new trial. 12 News' Anthony Howard spoke exclusively with Beverly's family about her case. Anthony?
The family is calling this a small victory in a fight this far from over. I spoke with Takia Beverly's mom and brother about what's next for the daughter and sister and their expectations for the upcoming trial.
I believe that Jurayah and Takia both deserve justice, and I'm going to make sure they receive it.
After a conviction and 8 months in prison, Christopher Smith maintains his belief that his sister is innocent.
We're honestly ecstatic and thankful for the fact that Takia Beverly has been brought home after being wrongfully convicted and in prison, unfortunately, for 8 months. We're thoroughly dissatisfied with the black stain that the justice system now has regarding Takia Beverly, and we're ready to fight and prepare for her to never have to see the inside of a prison again.
Beverly's mother says the accused has suffered being separated from her children.
They're very happy to be back with her. It took a toll on Takia as far as being away from her kids, but overall she was a trooper. She stood strong and she kept the faith, and she's home.
Takia Beverly's conviction was overturned due to jury misconduct, and her brother feels after new findings and a fair trial, his sister will be exonerated.
Takia's indictment was based on lies, as well as her conviction. So Takia, regardless if she was found guilty with that jury, there was no evidence against her.
Smith says the lack of evidence caused the Claiborne County District Attorney to create a negative narrative about Beverly, which ultimately led to her conviction.
This man is saying that they had zero evidence. Do y'all hear this? Look. If you're going to defend somebody, you should defend the facts. Not just flat out just say screw everything. Like, there are just some things like you have to acknowledge when there is some level of accountability in there. Like, you have to take some accountability. You are not 100% innocent. Do y'all understand that? It just means that it's a mistrial. You cannot convict somebody, and you cannot be on the jury staff if you are related, which means you have a vested interest in one side or the other, which means you're going to have a biased opinion. Very simple. That's very simple. That doesn't mean that, see, I told y'all she was innocent. Because somebody didn't say that they were related, that means that she's innocent? No, that's not what that means, fool. That's not what that means. Can't be that level of dumb. Come on, bro. It just means that she's going to be out of prison for at least another year by next spring. And then she's going to be right back to where she needs to be. But again, we have to prove by way of evidence, right? So not only are they going to represent the evidence that they have, because that's not going to be double jeopardy, because it was a mistrial, so they just have to represent it. They just have to go back through the process. But I'm also show you the motive. Don't y'all want to know the motive? How many of y'all out there that will listen to the sound of my voice want to know why she did it? They had evidence to show that she did some things to this baby, as well as the biological father. But nobody really answered what was the motivation. Why? What was the motive? Do y'all want to hear the motive? Let me play one more video and I'll get to it. I'll show you guys my original video.
They tried to build this narrative, this false narrative against Takia as this quote unquote evil stepmother, when that's the furthest thing from the truth. Takia went above and beyond for Jurayah, and she's went above and beyond for anyone that has met her, as well as the biological mother. So there's no jealousy, no hate in Takia's heart, and there's still not any today.
Beverly's trial date has been scheduled for spring 2022. The term of the bond has placed Beverly under house arrest, restricting her from leaving Warren County, and she's not allowed to leave her home from the hours of 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. with an exception of verified employment. Back to you.
Now, you guys are going to actually be able to watch a little bit of an older video of mine on this story, but I'm going to just kick back and let it play, and I want y'all to remember. You say you would like to know the motive? So here we go. This is a video that I recorded, which is a short clip, and I explain what the motive was. So guys, check this out. Actually, do y'all want me to make this bigger on the screen? I think that might be a little small. I want to make sure that you guys can see this. I'm going to let it play. We'll make it bigger on the screen. I'm going to actually tell. Here we go. Let me do like this. Well, here we go. Let's let it play. I'm going to actually tell you guys what my theory is on why this happened here right after these videos.
And first this half hour, a stepmother is found guilty in the murder of a 14-month-old girl. A Claiborne County jury found Takia Beverly, seen here on the left, guilty of capital murder. Beverly's the stepmother of 14-month-old Jurayah Smith, who was found dead October of 2017. Evidence at the trial shows Jurayah died from, quote, blunt force trauma to her head. Now, Smith's father, Morris Beverly, is also charged with capital murder. His trial will start on Monday.
Now, I want to show you guys a couple of videos real quick. And I'm going to be very fair, so I hope the family can at least appreciate this part about me, is I can understand when some things might seem like they're not what they really are. Maybe this woman really was innocent. Maybe this dad was really innocent. I will show you guys two videos. These fall under fair use, but I'm going to show y'all two videos. These are really short videos of the dad, the baby, and the mom interacting with each other. And I thought these were really good videos, but to kind of show her character. But again, I want y'all to remember that anybody can snap at any point in time. But let me show y'all these videos. So these are going to be just a couple of interactions, and just tell me what you guys truly think. Do these videos sway your opinion? Do they make you think different? Let's take a look. Again, this is the dad, the little baby, and the stepmom.
Baby? Where's baby?
I guess.
Yeah.
I
Aubrey? Say Aubrey? Delete. Turn it off.
Let's watch this one again. And I'm going to see, my mind works in a very weird way. This looks like a very nice, sweet, innocent video, and I think it is. But I see a lot more than most people do. Let me see if some of y'all see something different than what I see.
Baby? Where's baby?
I guess.
Yeah.
I
Aubrey? Say Aubrey? Delete. Turn it off.
Beautiful video. It looked like a beautiful family, right? Let me show the next video, and then I'll give y'all my thoughts. Let me show y'all this again. Nobody said it yet. Y'all are giving some interesting answers. But yeah, this is why I think I'm just a little bit different. Let me go back to this video. I'm surprised some of y'all didn't catch this. No, everything that y'all are saying, I think it's very innocent. I think it's funny. I think they're having a family moment. All that is normal. But let me show y'all what I see. This is the mind of DJ Just Jay. Are y'all ready for this? Here we go. Watch this again. It's actually something very rudimentary. That's the biological dad. That's the stepmom. The baby that passed away is right there crawling over. And apparently they already had the little baby. It's a very sweet video.
Baby? Where's baby?
I guess.
And by the way, I just noticed something. I actually used the word rudimentary correctly in that case. I think I got lucky. And it said involving or limited to basic principles. I can't believe I knew that big old word and used it in its correct context. Thought I'd throw that out there real quick. So I did say it correctly. It's actually something very rudimentary. That's the biological dad. That's the stepmom. The baby that passed away is right there crawling over. And apparently they already had the little baby. It's a very sweet video.
Baby? Where's baby?
I guess.
Yeah.
I
Aubrey? Say Aubrey? Delete. Turn it off.
I'm going to play it one more time. Y'all still haven't got it yet. Some of y'all in my current chat actually did get it correct.
Where's baby?
I guess.
Yeah.
I
Aubrey. Say Aubrey.
All right. Okay. I'll kill the suspense. No pun intended. Here we go. Did y'all not notice how they have a brand new baby and a 14-month-old baby? She could have even been 10 months, 9 months old. Y'all didn't pay no attention to that? 2 babies. Let's talk about motive. No, y'all got it wrong. Y'all got it wrong. I'm going to just tell you. Here's the motive. That little girl is extremely young. So I want y'all to think, if it takes 9 months to make a baby, 14, 13, let me see, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Then, maybe a month prior. So that means that little girl was 4 months old. I want y'all to keep in mind that they are married. The gestation period of a woman's body is about 14 days from the time that you sleep with her. So tack on another month potentially. So if they're, and I want y'all to think about this. They said that they're married. Hashtag not my words. So if they're married, then that means they would at least had to been together a little while before they got married, which means that he cheated on his wife. Ooh. Come on, y'all didn't think about that? Nobody figured that out? Huh. Somebody said I should be a detective. Thank you. I just take that as a compliment. The girl represents the other woman. Thank you. Let me take a bow. Wow. Tell me I didn't blow some of y'all socks off just by watching that video. Huh? What's the best way to get back in her head to his baby mom who he cheated on her with? To hurt her baby. And here's what I can tell y'all in my opinion. I don't believe that woman intended to hurt and kill the baby. I just believe she intended to rough her up a little bit. And it went horribly wrong. Here's my scenario as I give y'all my closing thoughts about this story. So I want y'all to think about this logically. There could have potentially been an argument with the dad and the stepmom. Why? Over this situation that he caused. His reckless dick, his reckless penis habits. He had to have him some wet vagina. Huh? Either with his wife or girlfriend, whatever she was at the time. Maybe they were just dating, but they eventually got married. So how long have they been married if this baby is only 14 months old? Huh? But you know what? It's very easy to look up somebody's marriage records, is it not? So we can easily find out how long they've been married, when did they get married, and then just take your guesses as to how long they were probably dating. I say 1 year marriage, 1 year dating. 2 years, 24 months. That baby is 14 months old. Am I on point? Did I show you guys something that from this video that y'all didn't catch at first? Because the first thing I thought, here's how I caught it. I said, damn, that's a baby crawling over to another baby, and that man didn't have that baby with that woman. but he got a brand new baby laying on his chest, but yet the baby mom of that baby, like, huh? That's too close. Thank you. You said I'm most definitely on point. Thank you. I appreciate that. They could have gotten into an argument, but I want y'all to think about this. They probably had a lot to argue about. Let me throw a couple of scenarios out there for you if y'all don't mind. Let me move this down so y'all can see the live chat. I'm going to throw a couple of scenarios. What are some scenarios that people could argue over if they're married and a man has a baby outside of his wife? Y'all ready for this? STDs are a possibility because the mom of that kid isn't with this man exclusively. So there's a possibility that whoever she was sleeping with could have passed something to this man, and this man would have passed it to that woman. STDs and cheating are a very real possibility. Number two, you had a child. Just seeing that other child there would make this woman feel some kind of way. It will let her know that her man is not exclusive. He's community penis. That cannot feel good knowing that this man put a ring on your finger, but you got a remnant of another woman that he was with outside of you. Third thing, child support. Thank you. Child support. And let me explain to y'all the way that child support works. If this man is worth any level of salt, he has a job. He has some type of verifiable income, some type of viable way that he's able to make a living. So if he works, which I believe he was working, if he's any type of a man, he's creating some type of income to take care of his kids, then that means child support is coming out of his check. Let me explain to y'all the way that this works. When you get married, and if you're on child support, not only will they come after the biological father, but whomever you marry, they can come after you legally because they see you as a single entity. So that means just as easily as they can come after his check, they can come after the stepmom's check because they're married. How many of y'all knew that? Is that not something to be pissed off about? Knowing that your paychecks is about to come short because of his bad choices? Huh? How many of y'all thought about this? Last thing, when I talk about emotional, just like I call her brother emotional, how about the fact that if a woman uses her emotional side, maybe this woman just got a bit emotional and that she just had a baby. And I want y'all to think about this. If y'all want to always use postpartum depression as an excuse, well, she just had a brand new baby. Instead of her killing her own baby, she killed someone else's baby due to her rise in emotions. And like I said, postpartum depression is no excuse for murder. Your mental condition is no excuse for murder. So do I believe that they got it right in this case? Yes, I do, for the things that I just presented to you guys. And I had no idea I was going to come back and need this video to explain this. And let me say this again about mental illness, because I've told y'all I've been saying this for a very, very long time. Let's hear it again. Married, they can come after you legally because they see you as... Huh? How many of y'all thought about this? Last thing, when I talk about emotional, just like I call her brother emotional, how about the fact that if a woman uses her emotional side, maybe this woman just got a bit emotional and that she just had a baby. And I want y'all to think about this. If y'all want to always use postpartum depression as an excuse, Well, she just had a brand new baby. Instead of her killing her own baby, she killed someone else's baby due to her rise in emotions. And like I said, postpartum depression is no excuse for murder. Your mental condition is no excuse for murder. So do I believe that they got it right in this case? Yes, I do, for the things that I just presented to you guys. Wow. That is a hell of a video, and I'm glad that I had that saved. And I hope that you guys were able to kind of hear my perspective. I'm not sure how many people agree. I'm not sure how many people who are on the side of justice for Takia. And I want y'all to remember, just because she's out on $1 million bail, that's not something that's normal for somebody to collect that level of money and that level of support. That's not a normal thing, especially if you aren't an affluent person yourself. Y'all could look at that apartment that I just showed. They were not living, high class or even really middle class. They looked like they were probably lower middle class, so to say. And not to disrespect them, I'm just saying they definitely didn't have the means to be able to amass that type of money between their family. That came from a lot of public support. And I just really don't understand how you wanted to defend a person that clearly was emotional for a lot of different reasons, regardless of whether it was valid or not. But in some shape, form, or fashion, participated in the death of that beautiful little angel that you see on my screen right there. Because she chose to deal with a dude who apparently understood that his penis was community dick. And he's sitting there passing that thing around and ended up with a baby that he didn't want to have on his wife. And clearly, that put a huge strain on their relationship. And the fact that reminder was around them while she had her new baby and interacting with her baby and stuff like that. All I'm saying is it's a very dangerous game to play. I think the biological father caused all of this. But that does not make the stepmother exempt from the role that she played by letting her emotions run her. They ran her, she participated, and I believe that she will be fully held accountable justly as long as the jury don't lie to the judge like they did in this case. That's all that happened, is that the jury lied. Simple as that. They should have been upfront and honest, and they would not have been allowed to participate in that jury panel. But I think they're going to, again, represent the information, and I think we are going to get the proper justice, which is for her to get the capital punishment, capital murder, for what she did to this baby. This baby couldn't speak for herself, nor could she defend herself against the tyranny that she was put in by her biological mother and her stepmother, and the fact that if the biological mother, and I'm not going to let her get away out of this either. We got plenty of court documents. If y'all want to go look that up, we have somebody in the chat who says that they have information. Y'all go look up the documents on Jurayah's Army on Facebook. Go check that out, because I'm actually on that page, and I thank them for sharing this video and sharing this live so more of you guys can participate in this conversation. All they're going to do is just represent this information. That's it. She's going to be held accountable, and they would have just wasted all of this money, this $1 million, and getting her out of jail really for an unjust cause. At the end of the day, this baby's death was horrible. She suffered immensely, and she did not deserve what she got. That baby deserved to grow up and become something great. And again, what I was about to say about the biological mother is the fact that she knew that this man was married. And this biological mother did what a lot of women do, and it's not all women. And I know we got a lot of good women out there, and it don't apply to all women, but smart people understand. I ain't talking about all women. but a lot of them want a man that other women want. In this case, it was a married man. It's not uncommon for a married man to be wanted by women who don't have a man. And she had the baby, and that man had a baby on his wife. And ultimately, they took their hurt and anger out on that baby. And that baby is a beautiful little girl. She deserves justice. And even though I might not like the fact that the biological mother had this kid while this man was married, it still doesn't mean that she doesn't deserve her justice, because she does. That woman right there deserves her justice for her baby. Beautiful little girl. Jurayah Smith, young princess, again. R.I.P. Beautiful little baby. Thank y'all so much for listening with an open mind and an open heart. To all of those people that believe in hashtag justice for Takia, I want to see from you guys. I want to hear from y'all in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Put your comments down there. Not going to block you. Speak your mind. And also want to give another shout out to Justice for Jurayah. Make sure you check out Jurayah's Army on Facebook at facebook.com/Jurayah's Army. Make sure you guys check that out, okay? See y'all on the next stream. Peace.